Hello students, once again welcome to Bholanath Academy. In this video students we are going to see the nomenclature of phenols. Now students, in nomenclature we are going to name the phenols in two ways, that is called as common name, and we are going to see IUPAC nomenclature. Now students, when hydroxyl group is attached to the carbon of the benzene group, then this compound belongs to phenols. Now students, in common name students, because hydroxyl group is going to attach with the carbon of the benzene, so we called as phenol. In common name also we called as phenol. In IUPAC name students, we call as, since it is a hydrogen of the benzene we are going to replace by hydroxyl group, so it is also called as benzenol. Sometimes students we also call as, in IUPAC name we also call as phenol. Okay students, so these are the general name students. In generally we are going to name the compound of phenols in two ways. In common name we call as phenol, and in IUPAC name we call as benzenol or phenols. Now students, first simple molecules name that we are going to name, that is when hydrogen of benzene, this is benzene students, each and every there is a 6 carbon. Okay students, this benzene is having 6 carbon and 6 hydrogen. When one of the hydrogen you are going to replace by hydroxyl group, so in common name students, this compound is called as phenol. And what will be the IUPAC name students? In IUPAC name, since it is a derivative of benzene, so we call as benzenol, or sometimes in IUPAC name also we call as phenol. Second compound, if the structure is like this students, when one of the hydrogen we are going to replace by hydroxyl group, so now this is phenol group students. Now here also you have methyl, hydrogen of benzene are replacing by methyl. How you are going to name students? In common name students, since students it is with respect to this, they are what ortho position, so we call as orthocresol. What will be the IUPAC name of this molecule students? So we have to start the numbering from here. Hydroxyl 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Since students here methyl is going to be attached to the second carbon of the phenol, we call as 2-methyl phenol. So name of the compound will be 2-methyl phenol. In common name, this compound is called as orthocresol, or you can say 2-methyl phenol. Third molecule students, what will be the name of this compound students? This is the, when you are replacing hydrogen of the benzene by hydroxyl group, this is phenol students. When the methyl is attached to this carbon, what will be the name of this compound students? What will be the common name? So students, where the phenol is attached to this carbon, in common name we call as ortho position, and these are what? Meta position. Okay students, and this opposite to this we will call as para. So we are going to use this alphabet students. When methyl is attached to M position, so we call as M cresol. What will be the IUPAC name students? For that students, you have to start the numbering. You have to start first carbon where the hydroxyl is attached, that carbon is called as first carbon. This is second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. So now this methyl is going to be attached to third carbon, so name will be 3-methyl phenol. 3-methyl phenol is nothing but metacresol. So always 3 stands for what? Meta. So this way students, you can name this molecule as M cresol or 3-methyl phenol. So this is the benzene. When hydrogen of this benzene you are replacing by hydroxyl group, so it is phenol students. Now students, when the position of methyl is at this position opposite to this hydroxyl group, so how to name students in common name? So again I have told students, where the hydroxyl group is attached, so this carbon will be your ortho carbon, this will be meta, and opposite to this will be your para. So students, we are going to use O, M and P to name the common name students. So what will be the name students? Since it is methyl, so for that students we are going to use cresol. But where the methyl is attached students, now it is at para position, so we call as para cresol. Now what will be the IUPAC name students? For that you have to start the numbering. This carbon where the hydroxyl is attached, that is first carbon, second, third, fourth, fifth, and this carbon is 6. So total 6 carbon this is having. Now at carbon number 4 your methyl is attached, so name of the compound will be 4-methyl. So in IUPAC name students, we call as 4-methyl phenol. In common name we call as para cresol. We have seen meta, para and orthocresol. Now we are going to see if the compound is having, if the structure is having 2 hydroxyl group. When two hydrogen of benzene you are replacing by two hydroxyl group. So adjacent to this carbon, now that hydrogen I am going to replace with hydroxyl group. So what will be the name students? Common name we call as, when there's hydroxyl is what? Adjacent to carbon, when two hydroxyl are very near to each other, we call as catechol. Understanding? So this OL will tell you this is belongs to phenol, but which type of phenol students? It is what? Catechol. Now how you are going to name IUPAC name students? For that students you have to start the numbering. Since you have to start this carbon, if you are giving carbon number 1, so this will be carbon number 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So if you name the compound with IUPAC name students, you have to give the numbering. So benzene, we can say benzene. Benzenol students, OL, here two OL groups are there, hydroxyl group. So we call as benzene 1,2 diol. So students, this way you have to write students, this is one name students, benzene dash 1 comma 2 dash diol. Diol means two OH groups, we call as diol. So at the carbon number 1 and 2 OLs are attached, so we call as benzene 1,2 diol. So this is the name of this compound students. Now sixth compound. So this is the benzene ring students. When two hydrogen of benzene you are replacing by two hydroxyl group. So this way students. So how to name these students? In common name students we call as, if two hydroxyl groups are like this, alternate, so we call as resorcinol. So the very important compound students, where the two hydroxyl groups are what? In this fashion we call as resorcinol. When they are very adjacent to each other we call as catechol. So common names are very important students. Now what in IUPAC name students, you have to start the numbering. We have to give the number to the carbon. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is benzene ring containing 6 carbon students. So we call as, now at carbon number 1 and 3 there is a hydroxyl groups. So we call as 1 benzene dash 1 comma 3 diol. Di means two hydroxyl group, we call as diol. So this is the IUPAC name students. Benzene 1,3 diol is nothing but your resorcinol. Understanding students? So this is the name of this molecule students. When two hydroxyl groups are attached to benzene ring in opposite direction, in opposite carbons. So if the hydroxyl group is present here, second hydroxyl group is present here. So what will be the name students? In common name students we call as quinol. Okay students, sometimes students the name in common name it is also called as hydroquinone. So why it is quinone? Here this is nothing but it is belongs to what? Ketone family. If you remove the hydrogen it belongs to ketone. So it is called as what? Hydroquinone. It is also called as hydrogen. These two are hydrogen and this is what? Quinone. So it is also called as, so why ON? Because of this we call as ON. So hydroquinone. So quinol or hydroquinone, these two are the name of common name. These two are what? Common name. Now how you are going to name in IUPAC students this structure? So for that students you have to use the number. So you have to start the numbering from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At carbon number 1 and carbon number 4 there is a what? Two hydroxyl group. So name will be benzene. Benzene your parent name students. At carbon number 1 and 4 there is a hydroxyl group, so we call as benzene 1,4 diol. Di stands for what? 2. OL means hydroxyl group. So benzene 1,4 diol is nothing but your hydroquinone or quinol. So these are very important compound students. So quinol or hydroquinone, or you can say benzene 1,4 diol. 8 type of phenol that we are going to see students. When 3 hydrogen of the benzene is replaced by 3 hydroxyl groups in alternate way students. So what will be the name of this common name students of this compound students? This is nothing but it's very important compound students to identify the, in pharmaceutical industry students we are going to identify the organic compound. To test the organic compound, fluoroglycinol is very important. Now students, what will be the common name? For that students you have to start the number. You have to give the number to this benzene ring. Suppose you are starting from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Benzene is having 6 carbon students. At carbon number 1, at carbon number 3, at carbon number 5 you have 3 hydroxyl group. So you can say students benzene, first letter will be capital letter students, dash. At carbon number 1 you have 1 hydroxyl, so you will write 1, 3, 5. So benzene 1, 3, 5 dash, you have 3 hydroxyl groups we call as triol. This is nothing but what? Triol. So students, benzene 135, benzene 135 is nothing but your fluoroglycinol. Understanding students? So this way students you can name the structure of this compound. The 9th one, if 3 hydroxyl groups are attached in this fashion, okay, or if 3 hydrogen of the benzene are replaced by 3 hydroxyl groups in adjacent carbon. So what will be the common name, students? This phenol is also having 3 hydroxyl group. So what will be the name of this phenol, students? Since it is containing 3 hydroxyl group and they are very close to each other, they are all are present in adjacent carbon. All 3 hydroxyl groups are present in adjacent carbon. So name is called as pyrogallol. Because of very hindrance of this hydroxyl, we are using pyrogallol. Now what will be the IUPAC name, students? For that, students, you have to start the numbering. You can start the numbering in this way or this way. 1 2 3 4 5 6. You can also start from this side. Okay, students. So now, students, since it is the parent will be your benzene, so you have to start the name from benzene. At carbon number 1, carbon number 2 and carbon number 3 you have hydroxyl group, so you will name benzene 1 2 3. Benzene 1 2 3. When there is a continuous number, that means it is pyrogallol. Understanding, students? So benzene 1 2 3 triol is nothing but pyrogallol. Understanding? So this is the name of this molecule, students. Here also, students, benzene, when 3 hydrogen of benzene is replaced by 3 hydroxyl group, but the arrangement is like this, students. 1 hydroxyl group here and other 2 hydroxyl groups are at adjacent position. So what will be the name of this compound, students? So this compound we call as hydroquinol. Students, mind well, this is not hydroquinone, this is hydroquinol. Understanding, students? So if they are 1 hydroxyl group is like this and 2 hydroxyl groups are very adjacent to this carbon, so we call as hydroquinol. What will be the name of this in IUPAC system, students? How to name, students? For that, students, you have to start the numbering in such a way that you will get the least number of carbons. So suppose you are starting from here 1, so this will be this carbon will get 2 3 4 5 6. Understanding, students? So what will be the name, students? What will be the name? So at the carbon number 1 you have 1 hydroxyl group, carbon number 2 second, and carbon number 4 you have third hydroxyl group. So name of compound will be benzene dash 1 2 and 4 triol. So benzene 1 2 4 triol is nothing but hydroquinol. Understanding? Quinone is different, quinol is different. Understanding, students? So this is hydroquinol. So if they will ask in board examination, write the structure of hydroquinol, so this structure you have to write. Understanding, students? So hydroquinol is nothing but benzene 1 2 4 triol. When one hydrogen of the benzene you are replacing by 1 hydroxyl group, so this is phenol. Now this phenol is also having one more group, that is called as aldehyde group. So this is the phenol, students. Now this phenol, how you are going to name in common name, students? So students, because this is very active as compared to hydroxyl group, so you have to, so this will be your, so with respect to aldehyde, students, this will be the ortho carbon, this will be the meta, and this will be your para. Understanding, students? In the spectrochemical series, students, this group is very heavier as compared to hydroxyl. Understanding, students? So we will start this will be as a main group, students, main functional group. So what will be the name, students? Since it is at para position, hydroxyl group is as at para position, we call as para hydroxy, and now it is what? Benzaldehyde. So this benzaldehyde belongs to phenol, students, but it is para hydroxy benzaldehyde. Now what will be the IUPAC name, students? For that also, students, you have to start the numbering from aldehyde side 1 2 3 and 4 5 and 6 carbon. At carbon number 4, students, you have hydroxyl group, so name of this compound will be 4 hydroxy benzaldehyde. So this is the one name, students, and here you have para hydroxy benzaldehyde. So this way, students, you can name this phenol, students, containing aldehyde group. Now one more phenol, students, that we are going to see, if it is having 2 benzene ring in fused state. So this is the, students, so one of the hydrogen now of this naphthalene you are replacing with hydroxyl group. So this is in common name we called as, since it is alpha position, this hydroxyl group is what? At alpha position. Okay, students, and this is what? Beta, gamma, and so on, students. So what will be the name, students? The name of this molecule or compound will be alpha naphthol. When your hydrogen of the naphthalene is replaced by hydroxyl group, so this will be called as alpha naphthol. So this is the phenol, students. Alpha naphthol belongs to phenol. So this is the alpha will get 1 carbon, second, third, fourth, fifth, like this, students. This is 9, this is 10. Okay, students. So the name of this compound in IUPAC system, students, is nothing but 1 naphthol. So 1 naphthol is nothing but alpha naphthol. This way, students, I have given the name of 12 phenols. These are very important for the board examination, students. If you like my video, please share it, subscribe it. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. God bless you.